Wonderful. Hello, hello. And thank you. Welcome to everyone. This is our newest edition of Why the Drama. I'm your host, Alexa Mendez, and we have a special script for you tonight. We will be reading a great script from a dear friend of ours. It's called The Last Laugh by Lucas Zambrano. Before we begin,
working title, by the way.
Our working title. It might change.
Too on the nose.
It might change. Look out for another title. Definitely look out for the name Lucas Zambrano. Before we begin, allow me to introduce the event for those who are unfamiliar. Why the Drama is how Filmgate has reimagined an actor-writer industry members meetup. Our mission is to craft, critique, and expand works and performances coming to South Florida. We invite special industry guests who are successful in the world of media and film. They give feedback and look to enhance the work of our creators who are prepping their projects to enter production. This is a monthly event that features a read-through of screenplays and welcomes industry professionals to witness the talent the Magic City has to offer. And we have a lot to offer. This initiative is only available to Filmgate members, but you too can become a Filmgate member. Please visit filmgate.miami and click on memberships. And now, everyone help us welcome our very special guest for tonight. Let us start off by introducing the brilliant, up-and-coming filmmaker, Lucas Zambrano. A round of applause! Thank you, Lucas. I know I've been excited to have this on Why the Drama for quite some time. And our industry guests come to us from LA and New York. The first is Kevin Chinoy. For more than 2 decades, with Freestyle Picture Company, partner Kevin Chenoy has developed and produced award-winning film, TV, theater, and branded content with many of the industry's most talented individuals and entertaining companies. His projects have played major festivals around the world, including Cannes, Sundance, Toronto, Telluride, Berlin, New York Film Festival, Locarno, South by Southwest, and Tribeca Film Festival. His projects have been represented at award ceremonies, including the Academy Awards, Golden Globes, Gotham's, WGA, DGA, Critics' Choice, and Independent Spirit Awards. His long list of collaborators includes Sean Baker, with whom he has partnered on his 3 films, Starlet, Tangerine, and The Florida Project. Ding, ding, ding. That should sound off some alarm bell, or not alarm bells, but just, some bells for people for a project. Really awesome. And various versions of the TV show, The Greg the Bunny Show. His projects have also included directorial debuts with Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx, Gwyneth Paltrow, Alicia Keys, one of my personal favorites, Demi Moore, Longoria, Zoe Saldana, Bryce Dallas Howard, Lauren Dern, Kristen Dunst, Rachel Weisz, Olivia Wilde, Kate Hudson, Courtney Cox, Ashley Judd, Eva Mendez, Jessica Biel, Rita Wilson, and Trudy Styler. Nice round of applause for Kevin Chenoy for joining us tonight. So thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Our other special guest is Crissa-Jean Chappell, who was born in Miami and now lives in Brooklyn, New York. Her debut young adult novel, Total Constant Order, published by Harper Teen, is a New York Public Library book for the teenage and a Voya Perfect 10. Chappell's second novel, Narc, published by Flux Books, is currently optioned for film. More Than Good Enough, also by Flux, or published by Flux, is a Florida Book Awards medalist, which Kirkus calls compelling and emotionally nuanced. Chappell's newest young adult novel is Snowbirds, from Simon Pulse in 2017. She holds a PhD and an MFA from the University of Miami and has taught creative writing and cinema studies for over 15 years. When she misses South Florida, she talks to the parrots in Greenwood Cemetery. Thank you, Crissa-Jean, for joining us tonight. And anyway, welcome. And thank you all for your time and for the subsequent feedback. Before we begin, begin, I'd like to introduce and highlight our cast for tonight. First up is Beau Blanchard as Lenny, Chris Irrarazabal for Jordan, Gley Viera as Mia, Peter Merlo as Ralph, Paulina Sofia Ospina as Emma, Guillermo Pacheco as Dennis and a comedian, Angelica Perez de Camino as the comedian, heckler, and audience member, myself as the bouncer, security, and one of the comedians, and I will also be narrating for you all tonight. So, thank you everybody for joining us. Jumping right in.
It's Merlo, by the way.
What did I say?
Mellow. I am mellow.
Oh no, I know it's Merlo. Merlo?
Yeah. It's okay. I forget.
I mean, maybe other things were on my mind. Anyway, the last laugh, ladies and gentlemen. We begin on a black screen. Drowning sound on the soundtrack. January 23rd, 2018. A comedian by the name of Lenny Cook died while performing on stage in Miami, Florida. It took the audience 5 minutes to realize that his heart had failed. Then, as an attempt to recreate the events of that night, names, dates, and locations have been changed to conserve the anonymity of those involved. The sounds of a muffled crowd start to fade into the soundtrack. Glasses clink, a low buzz, fading into Ralph's office, nighttime. The office is spare but neat. Looks like the same furniture has been there since the 70s. Ralph, in his late 40s, sits at his desk, looking over some bills. Opens beer dangerously close to the paperwork. Ralph?
I always forget the fucking AC. Yeah. Why not? Mikey, I got you scheduled for 30 minutes tomorrow. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But who am I supposed to get? The gig is tomorrow. You know anybody?
Emma, in her early 20s, clipboard in hand, barges into the office. Ralph looks at her inquisitively.
It's Lenny. He doesn't want to get out of the green room.
What do you mean?
I don't know. He's locked in there.
I gotta go. Try to find a replacement, okay? Yeah, I understand.
Interior, backstage, night. 4 or 5 comedians hang around. The environment is dark and buzzing.
How's the crowd?
Packed. Looking pretty good, though. We're 5 minutes late.
Lenny, you in there? Open the door. Fuck.
Ralph, we got a situation at the entrance.
Lenny, open the door. Don't start with this shit.
Ralph?
What? Yeah. Emma, can you take care of it? Lenny!
Sure thing.
Camera follows Emma, who in turn follows the bouncer through the backstage, down the stage and through the crowd. Continues shot through. Interior Comedy Club, front end, night. This is our first look at the club. 30 or so people are arranged in small tables, each table with a bright candle. The reference is restaurant in La La Land. Emma follows the bouncer through the maze of tables towards the front entrance. As they walk, they talk.
So what's the deal?
This guy wants to sit at a front table.
And?
Those are VIPs.
Right.
Exterior comedy club night. Line of 5 and 6 people. A couple is at the front of the line. The man exclaims.
Finally!
Babe.
What seems to be the problem here?
Sir?
Excuse me?
What seems to be the problem here, sir?
This is a comedy club, not a country club.
That's funny. You're pretty funny.
What's the issue?
I want a table up front.
All right, well, let me see your tickets. I'm sorry, these are regular tickets. We have a few tables left in the back.
You don't understand. Lenny Cook is performing tonight. That man's a fucking legend.
I understand. I also understand that you didn't buy the right tickets. Do you understand?
Come on, man. Most of the tables up front are empty anyways.
All right, but you gotta pay extra.
Interior comedy club, front end, night. Emma sits the couple down in one of the front tables. The man sits down, proud of himself, as Emma's about to leave.
Can you get us a few drinks? Mojito and
Gin and tonic.
all right.
All right. I'll have that for you in a few minutes.
You excited?
Yeah.
You're about to witness greatness. The wit, the irony. You never know what to expect.
Seems pretty packed.
It's Lenny Cook.
Babe, I know.
Don't tune out, though.
I'm not tuning out.
You're already looking at your phone.
Zach, the show hasn't even started.
Okay. You're right. I'm just excited. I want you to enjoy it as much as I do.
I know.
It was supposed to start already. I guess that's a good thing. We haven't missed anything.
Comes back with the drinks. She places the gin and tonic gently on the woman's side and slams the mojito down. She gives the man a mean look before she darts off. Camera follows her into. Interior backstage, night. She sees that Ralph is still trying to open the door. The other comedians have gathered around. Dennis, another comedian, is trying to pry it open with a credit card. He grunts and twists.
Lenny!
He tries to shoulder the door open. Dennis is still fiddling with the credit card in the door. All comedians start throwing out ideas. Knock the door down!
Let me go instead.
Break the doorknob.
Break the doorknob!
Break the doorknob.
Ralph shoulders the door again with more force. He hurts himself. Dennis, frustrated, throws the card on the floor.
Not working.
Suddenly, the doorknob clicks and the door opens, and out steps Lenny, in his late 30s, dressed in a suit, hair combed over. He looks at everyone around the door in shock.
You could have just knocked.
He walks past them towards the stage.
Fuck.
He gets up and hurries to catch up with him, grabs Lenny by the shoulder.
Hey, try to keep it simple tonight, okay?
What do you mean?
Just, cool it with the performance art. This ain't the crowd.
I've been thinking a lot about death lately.
Lenny turns and walks on stage. Ralph stays confused. Interior Comedy Club front end night. As he walks onto the stage, the crowd begins to clap vigorously. He transforms. Suddenly, he becomes nervous, wide-eyed, fidgety. He's putting on an act.
Hi. I'm here to do a few jokes for you. So,
The crowd laughs. They're familiar with the character. They know it's an act.
okay. First laugh. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that to come so quickly. So, my first joke. Guy walks into a bar, and
He pulls out his phone. He starts fiddling through it. Scattered laughter. Lenny looks nervous. Looks at the crowd and back at his phone. Laughs nervously.
just one moment, please. I forgot the punchline. Oh yeah. Guy walks into a bar, and wait, this isn't the right one.
We cut to man and woman.
Okay. I got it. Guy walks into a bar and asks for a beer. A beer. Did you hear? A beer. And they give it to him. They give him a bear, and he dies. You see, bear and beer, they're similar, right? Honest mistake, I guess.
Scattered, maybe even uncomfortable laughter. Man is gleeful. We cut to Emma, who looks on from the sidelines. Wry smile on her face. Ralph looks on nervously behind her.
What, so he's some sort of anti-comedian?
Genius, isn't it? Leave it to us to bring a non-comedian to a comedian. Come on.
You know what? Let me do another joke. Okay, that why are you laughing? I haven't even gotten to the joke yet. Okay, calm down, Lenny. It's almost over. Okay. I don't understand why you're laughing. This isn't the joke. I haven't even started the joke. Can't you see I'm trying to put on an act here? I come here to entertain you. The least you could do is show some respect. Okay. Thank you. Now the joke. The other day, I was on my way home, and I ran into this guy. He goes, I had a big pimple on my forehead, and at the time he goes, "Hey, nice third eye." And I go, "Hey, what's your problem?" And he just keeps going. And I get to work, and I start working, and my coworker goes, "Hey, nice third eye." And I start to get angry, and I go to my boss, and as soon as I go in, he goes, "Hey, nice third eye." I couldn't take it anymore, so you know what? I quit. And I don't understand why you're laughing. I haven't even got to the punchline yet. I don't understand why you're laughing. I'm being serious now. I come up here, and I try to put on a show. I'm memorizing all this nonsense.
You got that right.
Who said that? Who the fuck said that? I'm tired of all this bullshit. You think this is funny? It's not easy to get up here and perform. You're all assholes. You don't know what it's like. You sit there and you judge me like I'm a fucking joke. Why are you laughing at me?
Look at this. Look at this.
What did you say? Come up here and go up there yourself. If you're such a big man. What? Come on. Let's go, buddy.
I'm fine right here. Thank you.
No, I said come on. I said come on.
Okay.
Okay.
And throws it in his face. The crowd is a mixture of uncomfortable laughter, gasps, and murmurs. Mia instinctively stands up and slaps Lenny. Lenny looks at her with wild eyes. Jordan grabs Mia's hand. All three share a moment. Lenny turns around and calmly walks back up on stage, stands in the middle of the stage facing away from the crowd. When the murmurs settle, he jumps back around with a showman's smile and a showman's energy.
Okay. And now, a dance.
Puzzled yet enthusiastic laughter from the crowd. Lenny starts dancing wildly, a mix between vaudeville and punk rock mosh pit. Pure, unhinged energy. Then, in a sudden, he grabs his heart, stiffens up as if struck by lightning, and falls over, Charlie Chaplin style. The crowd falls silent for half a second. Then a roar of laughter, cheers, and applause. We are wide on the crowd as they cheer the unorthodox performance. Then the camera booms down and we can see Lenny lying still on the stage floor. We close in on his face, his eyes swiveling in different directions, his mouth drooling. Something is seriously wrong. We cut to Ralph, who's sweating on the sidelines. He wipes his forehead with a handkerchief.
Jesus Christ, it's over.
Are you okay, babe?
Yeah, I just.
Are you disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed.
Maybe sitting up front wasn't the best idea.
Lenny is still immobile on the stage. Suddenly, he lets out a grunt, a heave. The crowd reacts. They cheer. Ralph awaits impatiently backstage. He looks at Lenny's unmoving body and then at the crowd. He makes a judgment call and steps on the stage to drag him out. The crowd immediately boos him. Boo! Yelling at him to get off the stage. Ralph takes a quick look at Lenny, sees that his eyes are open.
All right, I'm gone.
He turns back and the camera catches Lenny's eye move and looks for Ralph. Sheer panic. The rest of his body is frozen. We close in on Lenny. His face is red. His eyes go from fading to determined. He musters enough energy to move his arm and drag himself towards the backstage a few inches. His eyes start to fade again. Ralph and Emma observe.
You okay?
Look at the crowd. He's never been better.
Ralph turns towards his office. He's had enough. Lenny rolls over, extends his arm again with erratic stop-and-go movements, tries to prop himself up but fails over and falls over and over again. He lets out an embarrassingly helpless yelp. The crowd bursts into laughter once again. They're enjoying the show. Lenny tries to yell for help. All that comes out is animalistic grunts and squeals. The crowd laughs harder. Some start to whistle and cheer. We cut back to Mia and Jordan. Mia looks disgusted.
Is the show over?
Don't you get it? It never stops.
Suddenly, Mia catches something happening on stage. She's shocked. The camera pans and pushes in towards the stage. Lenny is still slumped on the stage, unmoving, but we can now see a small pool of urine forming around the lower part of his body. The urine slowly trickles down the stage and starts to spill onto the ground, close to some audience members. One of the audience members stands up.
Ugh, that smells like piss. You pissed on my shoe, you prick. He pissed on my fucking shoe.
Some other audience members respond. A discussion begins among the room. Some in favor of the performance, some disgusted by it. Some other people start to throw things at the stage. Interior, Ralph's office, nighttime. Ralph is at his desk looking over his paperwork. Emma bursts in. Ralph is at his desk looking over his paperwork.
Go again, Peter. We didn't hear you there.
What is it?
He pissed himself.
What?
Lenny pissed himself.
He's still on stage? Jesus Christ.
We follow Ralph out of his office and through the backstage. The crowd is still in confused discussion as Ralph walks onto the stage. He walks towards Lenny.
All right, buddy. Get up. You're not working in this fucking town again if you don't get up right now.
Ralph rolls him over to reveal a horrible sight. Lenny's eyes are rolled back, his mouth open. His skin has turned a bluish hue. Ralph reaches for his pulse. Nothing. His face turns grave. He stands back up and wipes his hand on his handkerchief once more before turning back and walking towards the backstage. He reaches Emma, who awaits on the sidelines. She can sense his shock.
You okay?
To evacuate everyone out of the building. He's dead. Dead.
Okay, I think the show is over. Let's head out.
Okay, yeah.
We are going to have to close a little early tonight. If you could please start heading towards the exits in an orderly manner.
Jordan, stand up. A low chatter emanates from the rest of the crowd as they begin to exit the venue, as one would hear from a crowd exiting an interesting movie or play.
You know what? I should say something to that guy.
The comedian? Don't start it.
Well, he didn't need to be that disrespectful.
The slap was enough.
I'm gonna go say something to him.
He turns back and heads towards the stage. A security person tries to stop him. Sir, you shouldn't go up there.
Come on, man. The show's over.
No, it's not what you... I'd really suggest you don't go on the stage.
Hey, you prick. Stand up. You shouldn't have done that. There's a limit. What? You're not going to answer? You're not going to answer me. I used to like you. I didn't think you were such an asshole, but fuck you.
Infuriated by the lack of response. Finally, he shoves the security out of the way and walks towards Lenny. Security tries to grab him, but it's too late.
Hey man, seriously, what's your... He's dead. He's dead.
The low chatter becomes instantly muted. The people that remain turn towards the stage to see Jordan. Some gasp, others keep walking towards the exit. Nobody really knows what's going on. Jordan is still below the hot spotlight of the stage. Slowly, he looks down to see his shoe. As the warm liquid starts to soak into his shoe, he realizes he's been stepping on piss.
Everybody, let's unmute and give a big round of applause to our actors and to our writer.
Thank you, everybody. Wonderful. And now the most important part of our Why the Drama here tonight. It is to invite our special guests for feedback. We ask you that you provide feedback that is gentle yet constructive. What worked, what didn't work, what needs to be modified, and thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? I'll give it over to Kevin if you want to start.
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
First of all, thank you guys, Filmgate, for having me. I love doing stuff like this, and it's really fun to get to see people be creative. And fantastic job. I mean, I always find table reads to be challenging because you're trying to get across something that's meant to be a visual medium, and to not even be in person, but to do it this way is interesting. But I thought you guys did a fantastic job in conveying the story. So kudos to all the actors. And then I really enjoyed it. I think a couple thoughts. I mean, the story itself, it's funny because when getting that kind of heads up at the front, at first I was kind of like, oh, would it be better if you had the reveal at the end? But I actually, the fact that you kind of knew, made it really, it just added a whole different, almost comedic but horrifying element, of it. I thought that was really, it ended up, I would say leaving. I think it's actually really great. I love the couple at the front, the guy coming back in. I will say, like a couple of minute details. I always think, I usually tell people to stray away from writing out camera movement in scripts, but I liked the way you introduced the club. Like, it kind of caught me, the fact that you had the camera following the person going through the club, out to the front to address the person who was, coming in. I thought that was great. And, oftentimes things like steady camera, that kind of camera direction is overused, but in this case, I thought it was really good. Again, I thought the performances were great. I would say to pull off, one thing about comedy is it's so execution dependent, right? It's like you've got to, to translate this to the screen. And by the way, again, I don't recall your name, but the actors doing the comedian and the other actors involved were great. But as you take that to film, because it's also such a specific thing, right? It's so Andy Kaufman, what that guy is doing, and it's it can be funny. It's but it's very it's so that kind of thing is I always say casting is so critical for any filmmaking, but on a performance like that is really key. Like so however you end up choosing to film that is great. It felt like the length was good. Didn't feel too long, too short, and I'd say as you shot it, if there are potentially places you could cut back if it ever felt too long in the actual, viewing of the final film. But from just a practical standpoint, I always think it's smart to have a short that you can shoot all in one location. It's got a good kind of beginning, middle, and an end, a nice arc to it, the guy coming back. So, great job. I think, I think I think you've done a great job to put something together that can be a really, as somebody I've been lucky to get to make a ton of shorts in my career. And even in short films, you can have a nice arc, and you've done a good job with that. So those are the things that kind of come to me from the top of my head. I'll give somebody else a turn, but I'm happy to come back and answer any questions too, or let me think a little bit on it as others were commenting. But kudos to everybody. I thought it was really well done.
Thank you, Kevin. Lucas, do you have any specific questions for Mr. Chenoy?
Well, no. As of right now, I can't really think of anything. Just it is kind of like I feel the same way. It is. I wish we could do the Why the Drama live, so we could kind of like
the timing and the yeah, definitely. As your host.
Right.
Moving on to Chris,
and especially given
Chappell.
the fact that it sort of jumps around a little bit. It's even, but it's okay. Whatever.
No, I will say though, I think it's interesting because I've done a few of these like this on different platforms, and it's cool. I mean, I actually think it worked out pretty well. I think the actors did do a great job, and
yeah.
I feel like I was able to get the story by the way that it was done, which is great. It can, I think the narration was laid out well, and I think you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next special guest, Crissa-Jean, Chappell. The floor is yours. Hello.
I see a dog there. Who's the dog? Who is that?
Missy.
Hi.
She's our
the co-host.
What?
We have a kitty here. Kitties and dogs, yay! Bonus points for pets.
Let me
Always
go get
bonus
my
points.
13-year-old and put him on here.
Uh-oh. And you lift him up like I just did my cat.
He's gonna be up. He's almost my height.
Oh my goodness.
Kid, man.
Yeah. Well, I have to give the writer props. So many times people say they're going to write a script or write a book or something. I got an idea, but they don't always finish the work. So give you props for actually writing and completing a project. That's awesome in itself. My main concern is I don't feel that we have a clear protagonist. I feel like there's a lot of, and then this happened, and then this happened. And there was a comedian who did a performance, which was really not a performance, and then he dies. So the trick is to have more cause and effect. So there's a series of connected events rather than just stuff happening. I love the idea of a comedy club because I can imagine watching this short film and being a member of that audience, and it makes me automatically a participant in that story. That in itself is really cool, and breaking the fourth wall and all that Andy Kaufman stuff is fun. But we do need a character to connect with to lead us through this journey, and I think that you got it hidden in this script already, and that would be Emma. Emma's the one who has a goal. She wants to succeed at her job. She breaks the rules by letting this couple sit up front in the VIP section where they don't belong. So you could work with that, make it a little more personal for her, like give her a personal motivation. So it's not just random, Personal could be maybe she wants to be a comedian herself. That's why she's working in this shitty club. She wants to be a comedian. Maybe this isn't just any old comedian, this Kaufman character. Maybe it's someone she looks up to, and she's thrilled to death to meet this person. But this person breaks her heart and smashes her dreams to pieces, Even better if it's a female. You don't want someone to say, oh, this comedian reminds me of Kaufman, or, he even has a little bit of a Joker, like the Joker feeling in that recent film. If it was a female, older female comedian that Emma looks up to, and smashes her dreams. Maybe Emma is the one to open the door in the beginning. You know, she's trying to get the door open and it's locked. And she says, I have a joke. I want to be a comedian too. I got a joke for you. Comedian says, I'm not interested in it. I don't really care. This business is going to chew you up and spit you out. If there's a personal motivation and a goal for Emma, and she starts to move these events forward with cause and effect, I think it would make your script even stronger. For the ending, you know, how does this event, the comedian you looked up to smashing your heart, how does that change you? You know, how does your arc change over the course of these events? Does it make her not be a comedian or pursue this business? Make her want to do it even more? You know, what if she's the one with the piss on her foot? You know, not just some random guy. What if it's Emma standing in the piss? You know, at the end of this movie, is she going to tell her special joke? You know, is she going to be finally brave enough to stand on stage and tell her joke that the comedian would listen to in the beginning? So you have a bookend between the beginning and the end, and show a little bit more of her growth and change. So that was my just love to see a character. I think it's Emma, you know, making these events push forward with cause and effect rather than just random things happening. And also making that comedian character a little bit more unique, maybe making her a female as well, which would make sense for Emma's personal goal motivations, raise the stakes a bit. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of stuff going on here that could be really interesting to watch as an audience member. Just need to care about that protagonist. So those are my thoughts on this current draft.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually one of the things I was worried about, was the fact that there wasn't really a clear protagonist. It was sort of like an ensemble thing that kind of jumped between various characters, and I wasn't sure if that was gonna work, or if it was something that I could do, or if I should sort of lean more on one of the better characters to sort of carry the story forward, and I also agree. There's a couple of other drafts where I have sort of developed Emma's character more, and I just didn't have sort of the time to kind of revise and bring it as an official draft. It was, I have like some rough scenes where Emma does more and is more active. So I will definitely explore, and I also think it's great to end it with her instead of with the guy. I agree with that too. Yeah.
What?
I think sometimes when you're writing a draft, I think sometimes you have that gut instinct, like, oh, maybe I should do this. And it takes sometimes a couple of drafts and you're like, you know what? I was right. I had that feeling. So listen to that feeling when you get it.
I was just going to ask, what was it that interested you in the story to begin with? Like, what was it that drew you into it?
There was so I read an article where this happened in London. This actually happened. It's sort of very different. Like the way it happened in real life was the comedian was doing his stand-up sitting on a stool, and then he just like falls on the stool, and it takes the audience 5 minutes to realize that he's dead. So just like in that idea was sort of interesting to me. I also was kind of inspired by a movie called The Square. Have you guys seen that movie? I think it's a Swedish movie by a guy called Ruben Östlund. It has this great scene where this man who's acting like a gorilla or like a chimp. It's sort of like a performance art piece, and he starts sort of like messing with people, and he takes it to such lengths that the audience itself starts to question whether they should sort of jump in and defend the people that he's bothering, or if it's just part of the performance, if it's part of the art. And I wanted to play with that idea of like when real life starts to mess with a performance, or when the performance starts to mess with real life, and how that can sort of affect how we view something and how we digest something, and how something very cruel and terrible that is happening can be absorbed as something really funny and innovative if people aren't getting it. So I just kind of wanted to make a short film where I could play around with those ideas.
So
Like performance.
a lot of it is then how are the people around this comedian reacting to what's happening, essentially, right? I mean,
Right.
You're dealing with human reaction. I mean, is that right? That's interesting. I mean, look, I think the idea of the protagonist is a good one. I mean, to have a couple at the front, the manager, they all have their different.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said there. I think you got caught off a little bit.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay. So no, I was just saying, the way that you have the way that different people react is important, right? So it's always great to have like a strong kind of main character and arc. I think the other characters are important too. The couple at the front, the manager, they all have a different relationship with the person and a different reaction to what's happening. And given what you're talking about, it's interesting to see all those things too.
Yeah, that's true. It's sort of like that. I kind of have to make that creative decision there, whether it's an ensemble or a main character thing.
Well, you can still strengthen, like you could still strengthen the protagonist and the way that was suggested, right? But I do think it's interesting to have the other characters there and to have those reactions too. And given what it is that you're trying to serve, it's interesting. I interviewed an actor this weekend about a well-known actor about his process, and one of the things that he talked about at the very beginning of assessing a piece is to want to understand what is it that is trying to be conveyed to the audience. Are you trying to inspire? Are you entertain? Are you getting a reaction? And it sounds like from this you're looking at eliciting gosh, look at this horrible thing and the different reactions. The manager angry, the couple disappointed, the other people and so keeping in mind what it is that interests you in the story, I think is really important. And however you tell it, get that across. Like it's an experiment for you, and that kind of reaction, go for that. It's and that doesn't mean that you don't take on those ideas of stronger protagonist, but I think grounded in the idea of why you're doing this is really important.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I just want the audience to feel sick and happy at the same time.
Well, it's shocking. That's why it's funny that you say it, that you kind of, my initial reaction was, I wish you didn't have the reveal at the front, but then it's good because you're like, oh my God, this guy's dead. And you see the way everybody's reacting, rather than as an audience, you being like, is he dead? Is he not dead? Like, he's dead. And then you're just clued into the way that different people are reacting, which is, what was interesting to you. So I think, that part is, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something that I sort of put in there because I didn't want it to be like confused. I didn't want the audience to be confused as to whether this was like a mystery or like no, like the guy's dead. This isn't part of the story, and from here on, we can sort of enjoy the suffering.
Join the suffering. Oh my gosh. I do think it's important to think about what your script is saying, thematically. And I think of a washed up comedy club as a place where dreams go to die, particularly if this is an older comedian at this stage in his career or lack of career. So it would make sense if Emma was kind of looking up to him or her and saying, I want to be like you. He's like, you really want this? This is where your dream ends. So it would make sense that she would be your protagonist. But whatever happens, we need to have more cause and effect relationship in your narrative structure and not just have things happening.
All right. Lucas, any last
No,
questions? Any
thank
last
you
words?
guys so much, all the actors for helping bring the script to life. Thank you so much. Everybody was really, 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 really great. And to Kevin, thank you so much for your notes and for helping me see what I can do to make this thing better and to hopefully shoot it this year.
Good.
For sure.
Go for it. Do
Break
it.
a leg.
Yeah.
One more thing. I see Guillermo on here. We have to take a photo before Crissa and Kevin sign off. There you go. So everybody who's on camera, turn on your cameras, get some good lighting, figure out your angle. And are we doing a countdown? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
I was about to say we could have brought out the pets again and the baby Yoda for the picture.
The pets. There's a couch back there. She's on. And
Well, let's not bother them, Missy. But we have the rest.
we have the rest.
There's baby Yoda.
the children. We got the picture.
We got the picture. Amazing. Thank you.
Okay, friends. So, Alexa, close us off. And Juliana, who's our tech director, thank you. You also know what to do in your queue.
Thank you once again, Lucas, Crissa, Kevin, all of our fabulous performers. A few of you I know personally, so thank you for coming back. And this has been can't sing. Why the drama? Thank you to everybody. Once again, we will have a very special Why the Drama for you next month, so don't miss out. But if you do have a script or scene you want to submit, please do so at info@film-gate.org. That's info@film-gate.org for future Why the Drama events. If you'd like to participate as an actor, please send us your reel and a headshot to the same email, info@film-gate.org as well. Also, join our Discord. That's where we do this little shindig. We are creating a local community of filmmakers and artists to connect easier and create together. You'll see a QR code on your screen below. Here's how you can connect with members of the Floridian film industry. Members will have an exclusive access to special groups and workshops through Filmgate. To become a member, go to our website, filmgate.miami, and follow the prompts. If you want to improve your skills and your career, join us for the following events. We have a film festival coming up June 30th, I believe. We want to say that we had an awesome time at the last festival and the festival before that and the one before that. This one is a hybrid festival, meaning it is both virtual and live. Once again, Wednesday on the 30th, so make sure you get your tickets in advance if you want to join us in person. Our Eventbrite will host these tickets, so check out our website and get on that. June is our free-for-all month, so it's going to be a mix of a couple different things. It's not themed like Documentary Month or Comedy Month or Women's Month or anything like that. So it's going to be really cool, really interesting. And we also have our boot camp for young filmmakers aged 12 to 17. If your children love movies, this is the perfect place. For more information, please check out our Eventbrite. This boot camp is limited due to the CDC guidelines for protection against COVID-19. That starts June 21st. That was yesterday. Anyway, hit us up. We also have a VR project that we can showcase for you if you're interested. If you guys are into VR, XR, AR, we have a festival coming up during Basel. So if you'd like to submit a piece for our interactive film festival, reach out to us. This is an event that you shouldn't miss. It's quite innovative and ahead of the times, as it were. Please see our Film Freeway for more information. Come visit our theater, El Oro, for amazing in-house film events. We're going to be hosting our comedy troupe, The Vicious Circle, June 29th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's the night before our Free for All Film Festival. For more info, go to our Eventbrite. And lastly, we are accepting submissions for June shorts, also for the same festival I keep saying. So all genres, let us know. Please submit. And if you have any questions, reach out to me or anyone else on our staff. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great night. Stay safe. This has been Why the Drama. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for reading my script and for giving me notes.
Thank you, Lucas.
One more night, got this.
Thank you all. That's Chris. No, that's Chris.